Hey, Daily Doses, this is Pastor Larry here, and this week we're taking a look at what it means to, quote, don't be a fool. So I want to share kind of a fun verse for me that has always been pretty meaningful. And it's actually two verses. It's found in Proverbs 26, a compilation of wisdom by, of that day and age, the wisest man alive, a guy we know as Solomon. And he says this as he compiles wisdom for his son, Rehoboam, who someday is going to be the king. And the wisdom was so great, God said, print it. And we call this book the book of Proverbs. Verse 4, Proverbs 26. Do not answer a fool according to his folly, or you're going to be just like him. In other words, if a fool wants to engage you in a conversation, don't go there. It's kind of like someone once told me about, arguing with a pig or wrestling with a pig. Don't do that because you both get muddy and the pig likes it. There's just certain people that are toxic and poisonous. Don't go there. So if a fool is going after you, wants to engage in that stuff, just don't have anything to do with them. But now notice the next verse. Answer a fool according to his folly. You better answer him according to his folly, or he will be wise in his own eyes. So which is it? Now, this isn't a Bible contradiction. I mean, it's one verse after the other. Solomon absolutely knows these two verses are connected to one another. And what he's trying to show us is a very important principle in this day and age where everybody wants to post on social media or via conversations their viewpoint on everything. He says, shut up. Don't say anything. You cannot win. That's what these verses are saying. Now, there's a time and a place where somebody comes to us and they go, no, I really want to know. Absolutely answer. The right word at the perfect time is like a plate of beautiful silver apples and golden things on a platter. They're like wonderful. But we live in a day and age that is so quick to answer. And almost feels as if you're a coward if you lay back and don't say anything. And yet this verses, both of these verses here would say, if we don't want to be like a fool, there's going to be times where we just keep our mouth shut. Along the lines of what it says elsewhere in Proverbs, that even a fool is considered wise until he opens his mouth. And everybody discovers like, well, that's one fool. I have found in my life that pretty much every time I try to engage in conversations because I need to stand up for something or I need to make the point or whatever, and I engage with the fool, that I always end up much more like the fool than the fool becoming much more like me. Very simple, straightforward advice. There's a time and a place for silence. And when the fool wants to pontificate, don't post and answer back. When the fool wants to pontificate at the workplace, don't feel like you've got to step in and defend Jesus, because it won't go anywhere. Why? Well, because you answer them according to their folly, you're going to be just like them. And if you don't answer them, they're going to be wise in their own eyes. Very simple. How can we not be a fool? Don't engage a fool. Just smile and say, that's interesting.